Welcome to the CQC video tutorial series. This is video 6, Basic Navigation. In this video, we are going to begin to look at navigation within the user interface system. And navigation is just how you move from one screen to another, or one template to another as we would call it. And most all user interface systems will be composed of a set of screens. Usually each is set to deal with some functional area, like music, movies, HVAC, that sort of thing. And so what I'm going to do here is go to interfaces and user, and as in the other videos, we've been putting our own stuff under a separate scope, and you should do the same. In this case, I'm going to create another scope under that because we're going to create multiple files, and we'll have multiple versions of this as we explore some more advanced options. What we're going to do here is not necessarily how you would do it. This is just the most basic scenario. So I'll call this nav1. And under there, I'll create a file. I'll just call this one 1. And I'll create a 2 later, but it'll be easier just to edit this one and then copy it. So let's actually size that down a little bit so we can see it here. And I'm just going to, for identification purposes, put a static text widget in the center here. And we will call this, we'll say 1, so that we can identify this one when we see it. And we can crank up the font a little bit. And we can center justify it here. Okay, so that's our one guy. And now I'm going to create a button. As usual, this will be difficult for you to see. It'll be off your screen, but I'm doing new buttons and then command button. And I'll move this over here and I will call this one 2. So this is going to be a button that will navigate to a second screen. And let's go to the action for that. Or actually we need to save this now and copy it because we need to have the other one available. So let's copy. And then we'll just paste it in. And this one we will call 2. So now let's go back to the button and we will have it navigate us to 2. So we will use command, interface viewer, and this is where you do all sorts of navigation type things, all the sorts of kind of miscellaneous interface related actions that aren't specific to a particular widget. In this case, we want to do load new template. And the parameter to that is the template name to load. So just click the helper here and we get our usual spelunking tool. And we'll go to nav1. In this case, we want to select number 2 because this is the one we want to load. We're on 1 now, we want to go to 2. Okay, so now let's open 2. So we need to actually set the size on that one as well. I hadn't saved it, I guess, when I copied it. Actually, yeah, so since I didn't save it, I didn't get my content either. So let me copy that. And then let's go to 2 and paste it in. And roughly position it in the same way. And in this case, actually, it was more down here. So this one is 2 now. So let's change that text, the identifying text to 2. And now our button also is going to take us to 1 because we're going the other direction now. And we need to update the action. And I'll just type it in here since we know what it is. Okay, so now we have basically 2 templates. This one is 1 and it takes us to 2. And this one is 2 and it takes us to 1. So I'm going to save everything here. And now let's bring up the interface viewer. And let's open up 1. And now if we click 2, that will take us to 2. And of course, everything is moving around because I didn't get them exactly positioned correctly. And if we go again, we go back to 1 again. So that's the most basic form of navigation that you can do, just to replace one interface with another. And there are cases in very simple scenarios where that's fine. Where it breaks down is when you begin to want to have common information that's available on each screen. This is something that is very often done. For instance, you might have across the top here the current time and date, weather information, maybe security alerts and that sort of thing. And once you get to that point, if you were to copy this screen, say 5 or 6 times, and then you later decided you wanted to make a change to some of that common information, you would spend a lot of time and potentially make a lot of mistakes trying to make sure that they all get updated. So in the next video, we will look at a more advanced scheme for navigation that avoids this issue. So we'll see you in the next video.